this week's Kids Church Mindful Moment. These are our short, brief moments that we can share together in this online space to center ourselves in stories of our tradition and our faith, and to find how we might ground ourselves today in those lessons. Today's mindful moment is going to require something that you can draw on and a marker, and hopefully somebody else that you can draw with. I am going to use my whiteboard today and a whiteboard marker. This is a form of mindful doodling. Did you know that doodling can be a prayer? Doodling can be a way for us to ground ourselves and focus on something that we feel we need to learn about or explore a little bit more. So today we're going to do some mindful doodling. And what we want to focus on while we're doodling is putting aside our need to draw something and trusting that whatever we doodle will become something. So our scripture story today that you can read together here is from Genesis, and it's the story of Abram and Sarai. And Abram and Sarai have a relationship with God. And through that relationship, God has promised Abram that he and Sarah will have their own children. But it has been a long relationship, and Abram and Sarah have felt challenged all along the way. And through the story, we see how Abram and Sarah really have to struggle with trusting what is happening now, and knowing that if they can trust God in the moment right now, there is hope for their promise in the future. I wonder, how hard is that to trust right now and not to focus on making sure we get what we want in the future? That's really hard. It's something we have to practice every day, to remember that right now is good and right now is a step to the future, but we don't have to always control what's going to come. Sometimes we just have to trust. That is what faith is all about. It's setting aside what we want to control and trusting that God is there and good will come, even if we don't know how that good is going to come yet. So let's use some mindful doodling to remember that and embody that lesson and practice that wisdom. So using our drawing surface, we're going to put a series of lines on our drawing. If you are working with somebody else, you can't plan out these lines. You can't have a conversation about where they are going to go and where they should go. Each person will take turns and make a line of some kind, and then give the paper to somebody else to add their line. Now, if you don't have somebody else, you can turn your drawing surface 90 degrees or upside down. Turn it so that the first line you made no longer looks the way you planned it, and then add a new line. And now pass the page to the other person, or turn your paper around and add another doodle line. And keep doodling, keep adding lines without making a plan, without judging where the last line has gone, whether it's been right or wrong, without erasing anything. And doodle until you feel the page is complete. Okay, I've taken several turns around the page. I've added all my doodles. And now I'm going to have a look at this creation that I've made. And maybe we can look at it from all different angles to see what has been created. What do we see in that picture? I like the drawing from this side. I see some kind of sea creature. It makes me think of music. I wonder, what do you now see in your drawing? Without having planned out the steps, without having talked to each other or judged how each of those lines was added, what have you created? Well, my drawing really surprised me. This is not what I would have thought about drawing. And maybe it doesn't look the same to you as it looks to me. I found joy in drawing it. I wonder how you felt as you did your mindful doodling. Did you find it more relaxing because there was no pressure to create something perfect? Or did you find it hard to not plan your next step and to allow maybe the other person you're working with to do whatever they wanted? Trusting can both feel good and hard. Good because as we get used to it and as we practice it, we learn to let go of some of the stuff that's holding us back, and maybe we can discover new things and create new ways of thinking or seeing or being with somebody. But also hard because sometimes it's really hard to let go. Sometimes we want to be in charge. We want to know where we're going. And it can be hard to put that down and to say, whatever we create will be what it will be. My friends, I would invite you to try and do that more often. Whether you have somebody that you can collaborate with, you can draw with on a regular basis and make it into a game and see what you can create together, or even if you do it on your own and just turn the page yourself and see whether or not it gets easier as you go to just let go and see what you create. See whether or not you might create things that you could have never imagined you would create, because you trust that whatever will come on that page will be where it is supposed to be and will be what it is supposed to be. As you go into your week ahead, go with trust. Trust that every step you take is a step that will get you to where you want to be. And when the step you take doesn't go the way you want, that the next step will help correct and go where you want to be. Walking with God is walking one step at a time. And let's at least make the next step a step that is blessed, with the words of our blessing to one another. May there be love in your heart to give. May there be joy in your heart to share. And may there be courage in your heart to lift others up. See ya!